G'day everyone, it's Sailor MB here. After struggling with the rogue's puny little daggers all the way through playtest 4, it was on the final day of the playtest where I finally learnt the secret to actually playing effectively as the rogue, and that is what I want to share with you guys today. I'm going to spoil the secret right out the gate. You use a rapier. Who cares about the 5% dagger perk damage you have? 5% of nothing is still nothing. The superior weapon is the rapier. It is almost just as fast as the dagger, but it has insane reach, allowing you to go toe to toe with barbarians and fighters, no problem whatsoever. And that's exactly what I want to show you guys today. A rogue with a rapier, clearing out the goblin caves. I have 3 raids for you. The first one is just a preliminary raid where we go in with nothing and we pick up our poor grey rapier, and even though it's just a grey rapier, it is still a marked improvement from the default dagger. The second raid, we actually do a bit of PvPing and we collect ourselves a white rapier. And it's the third raid that's going to be the focus of this video. This is going to be a last portal extract, wiping everyone we come across, and it's my very favorite raid today. Raid 1 and 2 have just been playing in the background during the introduction. Raid number 1, we got no kills, but we extracted with a rapier, and raid number 2, we got 2.5 kills and extracted with a white rapier. And let's move on to raid number 3. So we start out just in this deep, dark, dank cave, because of course we do, where we've got a lion's chest around the corner, we've got a few goblins, and we've got a goblin mage. So this is why the rapier is so powerful. Instead of spending so long as you would have to with the dagger, anyone who's played rogue, you would 100% know what I mean. You go in, you stab them once or twice, you walk away, so they swing their sword, then you walk in again, stab them once or twice, walk away, but not the case with the rapier. If you've got room behind you, you can just keep swinging. You don't have to bait out their attack to get close enough to hit them because you have more range than them. And that pretty much applies to the skeletons as well. Range is about equal, but you have so much less downtime, you can just keep hitting your rapier. So DPS on rapier far outdoes the default dagger, and even if it's just a grey one, 100% pick it up and you will immediately notice the difference in PvE. Let the PvE get you used to its reach and its combos, and you'll notice the difference in PvP as well. I am so upset it took me the whole of playtest 4 to realize how powerful the rapier is. Starting with a dagger on rogue is such a noob trap, and I can see why people think it's the worst class. Maybe it still is, maybe it is still in need of a buff, but honestly, the problem is, it starts you with the dagger, and it gives you a perk for extra dagger damage. So everyone thinks you're meant to play with a dagger on rogue and not with a rapier. The rapier, I cannot stress enough how much more superior it is. So we're just killing a bunch of goblins, bunch of mimics, getting what loot we can until we run into some PvP. So nothing too much going on here, but even though this is only a white weapon, we're just tearing through this PvE, and as you can see, the damage is very high. We barely need any shots on these guys compared to what we would with a standard grey dagger. So he only gets a chance to do his gas cloud and 1 attack. And because we've got all this room behind us, we can just keep slowly backing up and just spam in M1 and constantly do damage to him. He gives us an explosion bottle, which we do get a chance to use later on, but not particularly effectively. But we'll wait until that happens before we get into it some more. So we've stumbled across a dead spider here and an alive spider. So either there's a pot around here, which I don't think there is, but my map memory isn't great. So either there's a pot, either there's someone dead, or someone just ran through and left these spiders alive. And this torch on the ground here, and that zombie is munching on a poor rogue in the corner. So thoughts and prayers to our fellow rogue brethren getting munched by a zombie. And we'll try and let him rest in peace and kill the zombie so his body isn't devoured and used by this horrible thing. So we take out the zombie. We've got to wait for the gas cloud to clear, of course. That thing stays around longer than an unwanted venereal disease. But we let it get out of the way, and we go pick up we can off our rogue brother. And he has nothing. He has extra throwing knives for us. I do love the throwing knives. They make up for a part of Rogue's kit that is really lacking, which is range and not always being able to effectively cover distances, and those throwing knives allows us to put some range pressure on. But I can hear someone approaching from the other side of the door. I'd be surprised if they come this way, because I'm outside the zone at the moment, but I hear them unlocking the door, so I stealth up just around the corner, making sure they can't see my stealth shadow that I leave behind for a second, and they're being very nervous and cautious here, and that's kind of making me nervous and paranoid. So I'm not really sure why they're taking so much time here, but I'm just chilling. My invisibility's got a bit left in it, and they slowly creep over towards the body, and then we take that moment to stab them straight in the head. 2 shots in the head, we dodge their attacks, and we finish them off with our damage over time there. And they get 1 dagger stab into us, but that was already a foregone conclusion for them. And fortunately, they have the heals for us, and the throwing knives, so we can heal up straight away. So we just gained everything and lost nothing from that fight. So that's just the first of 4 kills in this Goblin Cave run, and it was a little ambush kill there. So they were being noisy, breaking pots, which let us know exactly where they were. They probably should have heard us fighting the zombie or heard the gas cloud, but maybe they weren't paying enough attention, or maybe they were just a little too far away, who knows. But we get ourselves healed up. The zone is coming in. They have a nice pendant for us, which I missed the first time. So we've got ourselves healed up, and now we're just pushing through, and it doesn't take long before we run into our next victim. The zone is getting quite tight here, so we're coming down to the last few people left alive. And fortunately for me, I get the kill on pretty much all of them. So we're just stealthing through here, because I hear something. You see when I flick my mouse left and right there, I definitely heard something nearby. And as we round this corner, we see a ranger looting a body. And I'm just going to pause it here real quick, because this is not something I noticed at the time. Only something I noticed in the recording back. Those of you with good eyes, there is actually a berserker hiding in the shadows over here, and I did not know they were here for like another 2 or 3 minutes. So very sneaky barbarian. You got to watch out for those guys. So we'll play the video and see how it goes. The barbarian will make their appearance later on, but we stealth up. We start approaching the ranger. Our 10 steps isn't going to take us all the way there, but I think the barbarian drank an invisibility potion there, and that's what alerted the ranger that someone was nearby. And fortunately for me, them running away from the potion drinking sound led them right to me. And the poor guy, we open with a headshot, and then it's just a foregone conclusion. And he has a ton more heals for us. We get rid of our fireplaces because they're taking up too much inventory space, and I don't believe we're going to get time to use them now. Generally, you can only use them when the zone's quite big, because then you're safe to put it down and sit by it, but the zone's quite small now, and we get a fighter rock up, so definitely wouldn't have had time to fireplace. So this guy is, he wants some, but we have really good range on our rapier, so we're just dancing, playing with him, and we go in and we stab him right in the face, and that puts him on notice. He immediately starts backing up. We get out of our explosion bottle, but I pressed the wrong button. I think it's right click to throw it, and I was trying to left click. And then we have our barb make an appearance out of the corner. So I back up, let them fight for a few seconds, I get my protection pot up, and I am surprised neither of them are dead, to be honest. So I get another headshot into the barb this time, so they are both on notice now. They know I'm not just some squishy rogue. They know that I'm gonna be getting stabs into them when they thought they were safe. And this go in stealth here was actually kind of a mistake, because neither of them can see me. They're both like, okay, we're going to go through our respective doors and not do anything then. If we can't see the third person we're fighting, we're not going to fight at all. So going stealth here without immediately attacking, I think was a mistake on my part. But the fighter gets a bit too confident. He's a bit too confident. And he comes close, so we get him in with an arm shot there. Not a headshot, unfortunately, but we just take him down. You can see he gets 1 headshot on us then, which does just over 50% of our health. So still a lot of damage, but we got 3 shots in on him, and the time it took him to do 1 shot on us. So rapier is super powerful. We might have been able to pull that off with a dagger as well if our aim was perfect, or if we had one of the secondary daggers that has more sweeping attacks, but it all just feels so much nicer with the rapier. And we have the barbarian doing some really weird buffing here. So I'm just kind of chilling, taking my time, letting their buff wear out a little bit. We're going to pop around the corner with our throwing knives, and we miss that. But we got the barb charging us. We get a nice early headshot on them again. And now we're just dodging their axe. Dodging their axe, poking them back. We get another arm shot. We get another arm shot, and we finish them with a headshot. So a headshot to open, followed by 2 arm shots, and then a headshot to close. And this man is completely loaded. And so our inventory is 100% full of treasure and rocks now. So a very clean, good raid for us here. We're drinking our potions, not only to get our health back, but also to open up another slot for us, so we can take even more treasure with us, because I hate seeing all this stuff left behind. Breaks my heart. So we drink some of our potions. I don't believe there's anyone else left alive at this stage. In hindsight, I know there isn't anyone left alive, but at the time, I'm feeling pretty confident. I've just got my head down in the body piles. Don't think I'm going to be getting jumped by anyone here. And we just we look around, see if there's a portal up here. I'm not sure where that last circle is. So I do end up having to run outside of the zone to get to it, which is a little bit dodgy. But I'm just peeking around, see if I can see any from where I am, but I can't. So I just run up here, outside of the zone for a bit, which is always a bit dodgy. And we have where the last portal is going to spawn, just on this floor trap down here. So we just sit in our little perch here until the last portal spawns, and then we get out of here. And that is 2 raids in a row where we got multiple kills. We got 2.5 kills in raid number 2 and 4 kills in raid number 3. And we got the last portal out both times. So very good back-to-back raids. It's a pity this had to happen on the last day of the playtest. Otherwise, I would have loved to keep this streak going. And I did try to keep this streak going. And I'll show you guys why I didn't take my 0 to hero runs any further. This was the very next raid. I'm fighting a fighter in a cave here. Plenty of PvE around. He's still getting nibbled by the PvE, and he gets finished with a bat to the head. And so I just need to finish the PvE, but oh wait, what's this? Why are they all frozen? That's a bit unusual. And then I finally figured out I'm disconnecting, and so I run around hoping somehow that will stop me from dying to the PvE. But my internet comes back a few seconds later, and I just fall over and die. So unfortunately, that was pretty much the end of my playtest. I would have loved to keep that streak going, but I am keen for early access where we can do this sort of thing again. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you appreciated it. Daggers on the rogue are a complete noob trap. Do not use them. Switch to a rapier as soon as you can. There probably will be some buffs and changes, so maybe next playtest or early access daggers won't be as terrible. But for the range the rapier provides, it is a huge advantage. It allows you to go toe-to-toe with fighters and barbarians, even without needing your stealth ability. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm suffering withdrawals right there with you, but we can do it, lads. We can hold strong until next time. If you enjoyed the video, please do drop a like and subscribe. It helps a lot. Very keen to make some more Dark and Darker content later on. Peace out, lads. See you in the dungeon.